Dr. Andrew Doe, one of our newest movement specialists here at the Sports Pod, and we thought that we'd have a conversation while we fold some laundry. Also, those are my favorite shorts. What does it say? It says, you can't touch it. It's an exotic creature. Yeah. Those are clinic shorts at Wheelo.
Only at the Sports Pod.
Only at the Sports Pod. Dr. Andrew, he comes with us with a lot of expertise around strength and conditioning, and he actually works part-time with the Dallas Jackals, which is the rugby team. So he knows a lot about field sports. And field sports such as football, rugby, soccer,
Lacrosse,
volleyball. Volleyball is more of like a court, but field sports specifically like rugby, lacrosse, field hockey. And we see a lot of injuries in soccer. We see a lot of like Texans and Solar and all those club kids that do a lot of soccer. And one of the things that we wish that we could get our hands on is the athletes at a younger level so that we can teach them strength and conditioning, right? And like, what specifically would you probably want to go over?
Well, with sports like that, we have to think about how to cut, pivot, jump, react to the environment or to the sport. So with cross-training, you're basically building a more resilient body to do those things at a high level. So as you progress in your sport, as you get better, as you compete at a higher level, the demands of that sport obviously increase. So the speed gets faster, your body has to react more, and you have to recover. Like practice become longer, more intense. So if we don't cross-train, if we don't learn how to cut, how to pivot, how to jump, our bodies just kind of break down, and it's not the best opportunity for us to succeed.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issues, especially in like multi-change, multi-directional types of sports, is that you are doing it as a reactionary thing, and your joints and your muscles may not have the capacity to do it, right?
Yeah, you may not even have the technique. So we have skills coaches to teach us how to shoot, dribble, get off a defender, but how often are we doing that by ourselves? How often are we taking the off-season time to get stronger, learning about our body, learning how well we can position our body to succeed?
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother bag of worms of an off-season, the dreaded word off-season, where especially in club sports these days, there's no off-season, right? Like a lot of the soccer kids, they'll go from high school soccer into club soccer into tryouts. It's just like a never-ending situation, which doesn't allow the body to like repair and heal. Yeah. There should be an off-season, and the off-season should allow for no soccer, essentially.
Yeah, it's no competitive soccer, right?
Yeah.
The off-season is time to build a better body for the next season. If you look at the pros, there's a reason why the pros in the NFL take a full off-season so their bodies can adapt, they can rest, but really regain the size, regain the strength to prepare them for the grueling season.
Yeah.
So they can perform at their best and get better each and every season.
Yeah.
So if we don't take that time, we're not really setting ourselves up for success.
No, you're setting yourself up for a failure, and you're also setting yourself for your child's athletic development to be paused
and hindered.
Hindered, and often in often situations it's a breeding ground for chronic injury, right? Like a lot of the things that might be just small little knick-knacky stuff that can be handled in the off season with maybe even just like simple stretching and just like simple basic exercises, basic strength and conditioning get essentially magnified in another continuous season of soccer.
Yeah, and if you can dwindle down to even common injuries such as like ankle sprains, if you don't have enough time for the ankle to recover, the number one cause of an ankle sprain is a previous ankle sprain.
Yeah.
So if we go into another competitive season without taking the proper time to rehab, we're only mitigating or instigating
more injuries, multiple injuries.
And that can lead up to the knee, the hip, or even the low back.
So the exciting thing is over the summer, we will be having a specific strength class for field sport players. So if you are interested in joining that, it's going to be an age range of 13 to 18 years old, and it's going to specifically only be for field sports players.
Yeah, so if you play football, rugby, lacrosse, any gender, the demands are all the same. We like to say here that movement has no gender.
No.
So with that, every athlete will be treated like another athlete. And
Right.
we'll start from the ground up, building strength, building resiliency, and really making sure that movement is correct and at its prime so that they can perform the best when it comes to preseason and in-season.
So check out our website at www.thesportspod.co or DM us on Instagram or comment here on YouTube.